Matthew Perry was more than just an actor. He was a comedic genius who captured the hearts of millions worldwide. His portrayal of Chandler Bing on the iconic sitcom Friends made him a household name. Perry's impeccable comedic timing and relatable portrayal of a lovable, awkward character resonated with audiences across generations. Beyond Friends, Perry's talent shone through in various films and television shows. He had a knack for bringing humor and heart to every role he played. His career spanned decades, leaving an undeniable mark on the entertainment industry. Off-screen, Perry was known for his candidness about his struggles with addiction. He bravely shared his journey, hoping to destigmatize addiction and inspire others to seek help. Perry's openness made him a relatable figure, reminding us that even those who seem to have it all can face personal demons. His willingness to be vulnerable resonated with many, solidifying his legacy as both a talented artist and a courageous advocate for recovery. Please like, share, and subscribe, and if you enjoy this video and want to support the channel, consider leaving a super thanks. Your contribution helps me create more great content for you. Thank you. The world was shocked and saddened by the news of Matthew Perry's untimely death in October 2023. The beloved actor, who had battled addiction for years, died at the age of 54. The cause of death, as revealed by the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner's report, was a ketamine overdose. Ketamine, a powerful anesthetic with dissociative properties, has legitimate medical uses, but is also increasingly misused as a recreational drug. While often used in surgical settings and veterinary medicine, ketamine has gained traction as a potential treatment for depression and chronic pain. However, the drug's potential for abuse and addiction is a growing concern. Perry's death highlights the tragic consequences of ketamine misuse. The news sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry and beyond, prompting a deeper look into the circumstances surrounding his passing. What initially appeared to be a tragic loss due to addiction quickly evolved into a complex criminal investigation. Following Matthew Perry's death, authorities launched a comprehensive investigation to uncover the events that led to this tragedy. The investigation, spearheaded by the Los Angeles Police Department and the Drug Enforcement Administration, unveiled a disturbing network of individuals allegedly involved in supplying Perry with ketamine. Unbeknownst to many, Perry was receiving ketamine therapy for anxiety and depression. However, the levels of ketamine found in his system far exceeded therapeutic doses, pointing towards recreational use. The investigation uncovered a potential link between Perry's relapse and an alleged network of individuals who took advantage of his vulnerability. As the investigation unfolded, a chilling narrative began to emerge. Authorities discovered evidence suggesting that Perry was being exploited by those entrusted with his care and well-being. This unsettling revelation shifted the focus of the investigation, aiming to bring justice to those who allegedly played a role in the actor's untimely demise. The investigation into Matthew Perry's death led to the arrest of 5 individuals. Each played a role in the tragedy, highlighting exploitation and addiction's devastating consequences. Jasveen Sangha, dubbed the Ketamine Queen, was Perry's alleged primary supplier. She allegedly provided lethal doses of ketamine. 2 doctors, Dr. Placencia and Dr. Shaw, were also charged. They allegedly provided Perry with illegal prescriptions. Perry's assistant, Marta Markowitz, and William Beltran were charged too. Their involvement shows the complex web around addiction. Section 6. Beyond ketamine, a complex picture of addiction. The autopsy revealed a more complex picture of Matthew Perry's struggle with addiction. The official cause of death was ruled an accident, attributed to drug and drowning-related causes. The report indicated the presence of buprenorphine in Perry's system. Perry had been open about his past struggles with opioid addiction. The autopsy also listed coronary artery disease as a contributing factor. Perry's case serves as a reminder that addiction is a complex disease with multiple contributing factors. Section 7. Remembering Chandler Perry's enduring legacy. As the legal proceedings unfold and the investigation continues, it is essential to remember Matthew Perry for the comedic genius he was and the impact he had on entertainment and beyond. His portrayal of Chandler Bing on Friends etched itself into the hearts of millions, providing laughter and comfort to audiences worldwide. Perry's comedic timing was impeccable, making his character both relatable and hilarious. He had a unique ability to deliver lines with a perfect blend of sarcasm and vulnerability, making Chandler Bing one of the most beloved characters in television history. Beyond Friends, Perry's talent shone through in various other projects, showcasing his versatility as an actor. Off-screen, Perry's legacy extends beyond his acting career. His openness about his struggles with addiction helped destigmatize a disease that affects countless individuals. His willingness to share his story, both the triumphs and the struggles, resonated with millions who saw themselves in his journey. So why are 5 people close to Perry being prosecuted for his death? It's called exploitation. Section 8. The fight against exploitation. The tragic circumstances surrounding Matthew Perry's death shed light on the dark side of addiction exploitation. The investigation revealed a disturbing pattern of individuals allegedly profiting from Perry's vulnerability, highlighting the need for increased awareness and action to protect those struggling with addiction. Exploitation can take many forms, from financial abuse to manipulation and control, and is very common with celebrities. In Perry's case, like many others, the people entrusted with his care allegedly leveraged his addiction for personal gain. Michael Jackson's addiction to prescription medications from an early age, which was also facilitated by medical professionals and others in his inner circle, who prioritized his ability to perform over his well-being. Even when one doctor refuses to supply the addict and cautions them, as was the case with Jackson, the addict has the resources to buy anything they want, and they simply go to another prescriber. Pressured to maintain a rigorous work schedule from a young age, actress Judy Garland was given drugs to keep her awake and help her sleep from a very young age, leading to a lifelong struggle with addiction. Amy Winehouse was just one of many others. Despite her well-publicized struggles with alcohol and drugs, Winehouse's issues were often sensationalized by the media and exploited by those around her, rather than addressing her need for help. There were so many other talented people who become nothing more than a cash cow, and drug use is the perfect way to distract the celebrity from what is really going on. Section 9. Matthew Perry's personal life. Born on August 19, 1969 in Williamstown, Massachusetts, Perry was raised in Ottawa, Canada after his parents divorced when he was a child. His mother, Suzanne Morrison, was a journalist and press secretary to Canadian Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau, while his father, John Bennett Perry, was an actor. Perry's rise to fame on Friends in the 1990s brought him immense popularity, but it also coincided with his struggles with addiction. He began battling alcohol and prescription drug addiction during the height of his career, which led to multiple stints in rehab. Despite these challenges, Perry became an advocate for addiction recovery, using his experiences to help others. He even opened a sober living facility called the Perry House in Malibu, California, but sold it in 2015 to find a more affordable location, so he was really trying. In terms of his relationships, Perry had several high-profile romances, including with actresses Julia Roberts and Lizzie Kaplan. Despite his success and influence, he never married and did not have children. Perry often spoke candidly about his struggles with loneliness and the impact his addiction had on his personal relationships. Addiction is not a choice. It is a complex disease that affects the brain and body. Stigma and judgment only serve to isolate individuals, pushing them further into the shadows and hindering their recovery. Breaking the stigma surrounding addiction begins with education and empathy. It is crucial to understand that addiction is not a moral failing but a medical condition that requires treatment and support. Just like any other chronic illness, addiction requires ongoing management and care. Creating a culture of compassion and understanding requires a collective effort. We must challenge our own biases and misconceptions about addiction, replacing judgment with empathy. By treating addiction as a health issue rather than a moral failing, we can create a more supportive environment for individuals seeking help and recovery. Section 10. Breaking the cycle of addiction. Matthew Perry's death is a stark reminder of the devastating impact of addiction. It highlights the urgent need for effective prevention, treatment, and recovery services to break the cycle of addiction and save lives. Prevention programs play a crucial role in educating young people about the risks of drug use and providing them with the tools to make healthy choices. I have seen people who never took a drink become alcoholics after a life-changing event. The same is true with drugs. A clear aggravating factor in addiction is the state of the world today, something I'd like you to consider. Opiates have been around since before Christ. In fact, hydrocodone was first synthesized in Germany in 1920. I dispensed tens of thousands of opiates as a pharmacist, and the addiction problem was never as bad as it is now. So why is that? Research shows that only 8 to 12% of people who are prescribed narcotics for chronic pain develop an addiction. It's even lower for people who receive it for acute temporary pain. What has the system done? They have nearly criminalized the prescription of painkillers by practitioners. The record-keeping requirements and scrutiny has clearly deterred physicians from prescribing painkillers to people who clearly need it. Instead, people are forced to use high and frequent use of Tylenol and ibuprofen, which can cause liver failure, gastrointestinal erosion, and many other untoward effects. So yet again, our government is lying to us. If you want to know the truth of the addiction problem, the U.S. Department of Justice and the Drug Enforcement Administration, DEA, have estimated that hundreds of billions of dollars worth of illegal drugs enter the United States annually. This is thousands of tons of illegal drugs crossing our borders that the other 80 to 90% of addicts are being supplied with. Studies show that the earlier a person begins using substances, the greater the likelihood of developing an addiction. This is particularly true for those who begin using opioids in adolescence. So why do people become addicted if only about 15% or so are from chronic prescription use? There can be no doubt that the state of our society is pivotal to the increase in drug use. Today's world presents significant life stressors, such as unemployment, relationship issues, or financial difficulties, which can drive individuals to misuse opioids as a coping mechanism. So I blame the government and its poor management for the inflation, unemployment, interest rates, and decay of the family unit. When are people going to realize that what they say doesn't mean anything? These demons are destroying our lives and people are campaigning for them. I'm literally stumped. Then there's our youth. Peer pressure, social environment, self-esteem, and exposure to drug use all contribute to the development of addiction in our youth. I'm going there because I must address the gender dysphoria issue and its link to drug addiction. Obviously, there is the lifelong drugs that are directly related to the transition, such as hormones, drugs for bone density, and lipid management. But what about the addiction to harmful drugs? Did you know that 40% of transgender adults have attempted suicide, with rates significantly higher among those who experience rejection or discrimination? There is little dispute that gender dysphoria is a psychological, rather than physical condition in most, if not all, cases. Individuals with gender dysphoria are at an increased risk for various mental health issues, including anxiety, depression, and suicidal thoughts, so we give them a medal and reinforce their mental illness. Despite the high prevalence of mental health disorders, 60% of youth with major depression do not receive any mental health treatment. I don't know if this is a statistic that they are giving us to get more of our kids on Big Pharma's mind-altering drugs, or if it's true, but either way, I think there's cause for alarm. If anything angers me, it's what's being done to our youth with this transgender agenda. Do the elite believe that normalizing their deranged homosexual and pedophilic tendencies makes it right? Parents, please think about what is happening to our society and don't give these money-grubbing sociopaths any credence whatsoever. Do what your parents and grandparents did with their kids when they experienced stress. Love them, yell at them, lock them up, but don't alter the perfect machine that they are with hormones and mutilating surgeries that will present chronic medical issues for the rest of their life. Be the parent and just say no. Section 11. Honoring Perry's memory. A future free from addiction. As we mourn the loss of Matthew Perry, let us honor his memory by working towards a future free from the grip of addiction. By investing in prevention, treatment, and recovery services, we can create a world where individuals struggling with addiction receive the support they need to heal and thrive. Let us remember Matthew Perry, not only for his comedic genius, but also for his courage in sharing his struggles with addiction. His openness helped destigmatize a disease that affects millions, encouraging others to seek help. By continuing the conversation about addiction, promoting understanding, and advocating for effective solutions, we can honor Perry's legacy and create a brighter future for all. Matthew Perry's life and legacy remind us that addiction can touch anyone, regardless of fame or fortune. If someone with Matthew Perry, with all his resources, can't avoid addiction, where does that leave a 15-year-old child whose parents are working constantly to survive in a strained marital relationship? His death underscores the urgent need to address this complex issue with compassion, understanding, and a commitment to providing effective solutions. By working together, we can create a world where addiction no longer claims lives and steals away the talent and potential of individuals like Matthew Perry.